Thank you. Appreciate the presentation. We'll proceed then with announcements, and we'll first have the review of next week's agenda.
The June 16th agenda includes two presentations. One is on the 2015 annual report of the Topeka Sustainability Advisory Board. The second is on the 2014 City of Topeka Audit and Comprehensive Annual Financial Report. On the consent agenda, there are 2 workers' comp claims and 2 tort claims, and we have a resolution for a noise exception. Action items include 2 appeals for security guard license denials, and then we have 1 discussion items regarding the City of Topeka Neighborhood Initiative.
Okay, thank you. Proceed then with the announcements, Mr. City Manager.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'm going to make 3 brief comments. First, I just want to recognize Mary Feeney. Mary is the interim city attorney. I know everybody's had a chance to work with her, and she truly has one of the great legal minds in the state, and we're very fortunate to have her. And I'm very excited that I've talked her into hanging out up here and doing the job. And so while we're very much committed to getting a new city attorney, we have not selected one at this point. We're going to continue to search, but I'm very confident with Mary's legal leadership, and I think she brings a very steady and very knowledgeable voice to this body. So I thank you for your continued service. I also want to just thank we had 40 water pollution control employees who were working around the clock last week. We had some very serious nights. Sylvia and I don't often talk at 1 o'clock in the morning, but we did, and I talked to several of you that night. It was a tough night. It was followed up by tougher nights. We had 40 people that worked around the clock, just making sure that they continued to monitor not just the river, but all of our systems, and we knew that there was a lot of water that was being held in Tuttle Creek. So if they got more rain, they were going to dump it down on us. It was a tough and a tenuous time, and I want to thank Doug and his team and Bob Sample for all the work that they did. But there was a lot of maneuvering, and there was a lot of managing and making sure that the equipment continued to move the water where it needed to be. It brought to attention how difficult our task is sometimes. When people complained about the stormwater fees, they were well worth it last week because we pushed it to the edge on that. But you know, every time the water gets to 15 feet, we're out there doing that. So it's a good group of people that work very diligently. We also had some fun. Chief Bailey is back there somewhere. There he is. He invited the department heads over to do the firefighter for the day. I know he did it with many of the council members. What a phenomenal experience. And when you put that gear on and you go in and I think you only did 800 degree fires. So gave them kind of an easy day at it. But they had an opportunity to get in and see how a fire acts and work around with some of the turnout gear on. Great experience. And one of the things that we're trying to do is to break down the silos that exist within city government. We have 1,167 and a half employees. It's difficult for everybody to understand and appreciate how they fit into this comprehensive team. And so we've been having department heads set up orientation sessions for other department heads and other senior leaders within the organization. We want to continue to do that so people understand how they fit into everything else. So that concludes my comments.
Okay, and thank you for your comments pertaining to the all those who worked many additional hours over this the rain that we had, and preventing any crisis. And it's always the good news when there is no crisis, no emergency, because of all the good work that's being done. Councilwoman Claire.
A reminder: the 35th Infantry Division Band will be playing June 15th, 7:30 at Garfield Gazebo. And on June 3rd, Wednesday, I attended the award ceremony at the Topeka Shawnee County Public Library. Very proud that they received the 2015 Library Aware Community Award. And you can go on their website and read more about that. German Fest was awesome. A lot of people, a lot of great food. If you missed it this year, make sure and put that down to attend next year. Today I attended the Vallejo virtual tour. Very impressed with all the services they offer. If you know anyone that might need mental health recovery services, check them out. See if they can help. And last, make sure and register for the 2015 Fiesta Mexicana 5K Run Walk. Be held June 27th. If you register before June 20th, the early bird price is only $25. That's it.
Thank you. Councilwoman Ortiz.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just want to piggyback on Ms. Clears. The Fiesta food sales are going on at the church, the Blandum building. So I'd like to encourage everyone to go out there and get some food before the Fiesta. It's still supporting the good cause, but my little cousin is this week, and I did tell her that I would announce that to you guys. Also, to the city manager, can I get an updated organizational chart that I can read? Not one that's really small, but one that I could read, and you might want to give it to all the other council members. I sent out an email today, and they were told me I'm not in that position anymore. I've moved to this and this and that and this. I know you have done a lot of moving around, and I would appreciate that if you could send that probably to all the council members. I also want to piggyback on what Elaine said. She said that there was a letter that went out, and she asked that if we could, she could have it sent to her. It'd be nice to have it sent to the council. I don't know what it would hurt, even though it's in her district. Sometimes people don't know who to call, and they call all over, and it's kind of embarrassing when you don't know what they're talking about, especially when it's in your district, but even when it's out of your district. I get a lot of calls from all over, and I just try to handle them, but it would be nice if we could get those calls. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Councilman SCHUMM.
Again, I want to thank the city staff. It is an exciting time. I can't emphasize that enough. We've been complaining about streets for forever, and we're about to get something done on them, and that is hugely exciting, and it's an honor. There's a lot of work that went into it. I want to thank the current members of the council that were here before us latest four came on, because you've been putting a lot of hard work in shaping up the budget to where this would be possible. I wanted to thank the city staff for their planning to get us to this point where it's possible. And it is a great time to be in Topeka. It's a great time to see the whole city moving forward, and to know that streets are being attended to is a load off everyone's mind. And so now it's time to hold us accountable, and I appreciate Mr. Colson's willingness to do so, to put out a street plan, and thank you. I'm just excited, and I'm sure that I speak for many Topekans. We're excited to see streets repaired.
Thank you. Councilwoman De La Isla.
Thank you, Mayor Wilgas. I'm going to steal a little bit from Councilwoman Schwartz, and she's been talking every week about a Topeka treasure. And tonight is a very appropriate evening to kind of celebrate our community. We constantly hear what's wrong with the city of Topeka. Constantly. And tonight is one of those nights that we could sit back and take a look at all of the progress that we've been making. And I constantly challenge people. I tell them, when you talk bad about Topeka, just remember one thing. Topeka is made by the people that live in this community. So when you talk poorly about Topeka, you talk poorly about yourself. I'll give you just one example of a great Topeka day that I had yesterday. I went to walk my dog, Mr. Bilbo Baggins, and as I was walking Bilbo, there was this young little girl on the corner of 33rd and Medford, right across the street from Jardine. And she was just giving lemonade. Just because. And I said, you know, I don't have cash, I'm walking my dog. And she said, no, come over, it's for free. It's for free. So I go over there and, you know, sip some lemonade, talk with her. She tells me that she wants to be a police officer. And her parents were there, got to meet the parents, and I walked away feeling so good about the neighborhood. I walked away feeling good about Topeka. I encourage all of you to think about what was great about your Topeka experience and celebrate it. Let's talk about celebrations. On Friday, I received a phone call and I was able to attend 712 Innovations. If you have not gone there, I invite you to go. Awesome place. It's geek paradise. There's a whole bunch of heavy equipment that you could play with. You could really get hurt, so please be careful if you go over there. But on Friday, it was special because we had Hack Topeka. And what happened there was that a whole bunch of young individuals got together and they all talked about what things they could do in a 48-hour period that could make a significant impact downtown. And there was two things that were voted upon, and I encourage you to invest in them and to research about them. One of the things that was decided upon was doing an art sort of project so that downtown Topeka could be the location that children could come with their parents and maybe do some sort of art and have a place to have an exposition of that art so that parents could come back and revisit it. And the other thing that was decided upon was doing a blitz type of build in the Jayhawk Theater and just making sure that they redo the outside gallery of that location so that more people could come and kind of explore a little bit more of the Jayhawk. A lot of great things happening. Another thing that happened in the community this week is I had a great meeting with the budget committee, and I am really looking forward to what's going to happen starting Saturday. I encourage everybody to make sure that at 8 o'clock in the morning to 11 o'clock, we're going to be in the LEC, and we're going to start talking about the budget. The news that are coming are good. Again, good things about Topeka. We have an amazing team in the budget area. 33rd and Randolph, the pool is open again, and we have heard from one of our good friends, Mr. Rhodes, that he's concerned about traffic. It's a main artery. We have 33rd Street. We have that road, and just encouraging people to just be considerate. There's children crossing all the time, and just remember that we have our little kiddos outside. I'm trying to be quick. Also wanted to say that I'm very excited about the roads. What a day. What a day. We've been hearing ever since I got elected. Let's fix those roads. How do you eat an elephant a piece at a time? My friends, we just took the bite out of a head of an elephant with the strategy that we're developing. So kudos and congratulations to the city of Topeka for the staff for doing the work that they do. Another thing to celebrate is if you have not been to Noto, I would recommend that you go check the mosaic. Mr. Sneven and the team got together and they have revamped a building and they have made it a beautiful landmark. So make your way up to Noto and check this building out. It is unique, and there have been people trained to do this in our community so that we could keep on beautifying our community. And finally, 2 invitations, one tomorrow at 10 o'clock in the morning, coffee on your corner at McDonald's. We're going to talk about the maps and how poverty is affecting our community. And if you want to keep on talking about that, on Tuesday the 16th at Washburn University, register for $20 to the Topeka Conversation on Poverty. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Councilman Jensen.
I had the pleasure of joining Ms. Clear at Vallejo at lunch. This is the second time I've been there to hear them present all the good things they're doing for the community, and I am just as blown away the second time as I was the first time about all the wonderful things they're doing there. So good stuff. I sit on the board for the Jayhawk Theater, and it's really an exciting time for that project. I'd encourage everyone to take a look at our Facebook page, keep an eye on us. That project is it's going to kick in a high gear pretty rapidly, so very exciting things there. Something else that's an interesting perspective I'd encourage everyone to take a look at. For the next couple of months, the top of the tower, it's a private club. They're allowing folks that are not members to go up there and take a look. The food is fabulous there, and the drinks are excellent as well. But what I would encourage you to do is to look at the city from that perspective. From 16 floors up, as far as you can see, it just gives you a wonderful feeling about our community. The same can be accomplished from the top of the Capitol Dome. But I would just encourage everyone to take the opportunity and take a look at our community from a higher level. It's really exciting to see. Over the weekend, my younger brother Kevin was up here from Arkansas, and I had the pleasure of taking him around the community that I know and love and showing him all the wonderful things that we have going on here. And he was just blown away by the cool things we have and the way our community is progressing. We got 4 inches of rain, and I got not one call with problems. See, Karma, I'm knocking on wood. But Mr. Colson, thank you, and to your entire team. That was a feat. Very impressive. My last request is, could you guys turn the air conditioning on, please? I don't know who's responsible for that in the city, but it's hot outside. Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you. Councilwoman Schwartz, can you top that?
Well,
Do you want to top that?
I can top the looking at the city, because this last week before our scheduled retreat that we had to cancel because of all the rain, I went up to Burnett's Mound, and you ought to see the city from Burnett's Mound. It is very awesome, and I hope we can reschedule the retreat and we can get up to the top of Burnett's Mound, because it is pretty awesome. But the gem that I want to talk about this week, and I had a little bit difficult time deciding because we do have so many gems in Topeka, but I want to say it's the Capitol building and what's going on at the Capitol building right now, because it's bringing in more sales tax revenue, more bed tax, and, you know, with all that going on. So even though they're not getting anything accomplished and going home, we're grateful that they're there. And I can say it because I was once there. So, and then the last thing I wanted to say was to thank, also Heartland Visioning. They're still doing their Your Community, Your Library, and I went to one of their meetings and it was very good. So I would encourage anybody in the city to go to those. They have four more, June 11th, July 7th, July 23rd, and August 10th. And we have some great new people, or one new person, and then that we approved tonight to be on the library board, and they're doing some great things. So try to go to those visioning meetings. And the last thing is I want to thank Margot Rangel, who is the new person in the mayor's office, because we've been corresponding about several things, and she's doing a terrific job.
Thank you. Thank you. I agree. Councilman Cohen, Councilman Harmon, Deputy Mayor Hiller.
Couple quick things. I think a couple of weeks ago I brought a book that the Board of Realtors, National Association of Realtors had put out called On Common Ground, and recommended that you get it. Had just a brief e-link for it that we sent out, but I think everybody got it in print. I just wanted to make sure you connected the dots and knew this is what it was. It's really great. And again, public and private partnerships, I think it's really cool that the Board of Realtors, or the Association of Realtors, I should say, took the affirmative effort to get that out to us, and that they are thinking along those lines as we're a very progressive, sustainable community kind of thinking from them. Second, for those that were around or were paying attention, about really 6 years ago, I ended up as the lead council person with a citizen committee working on totally revamping our animal control ordinances. It was a big deal because we were going from breed specific to just dangerous animal and animal welfare an approach. We also added TNR, trap, neuter, and release for cats, which was very cutting edge. There were lots of questions about it. We spent 9 months with people who loved pit bulls and were afraid of pit bulls, who loved cats, who didn't care about cats, all those kinds of things, crafting word for word what, when we got done, we thought was a cutting edge ordinance. And the report for you is that because I was involved in that, my name is out, and I've been contacted by folks in Hayes about how successful our TNR was, and the city of Auburn is looking at working on their breed-specific ordinance and wondered how ours was doing. And so those questions often migrate to me, and I went and checked with the staff about how it's going. One measure for all of us is if you don't hear anything, it's probably going okay. And whereas we had complaints all the time back in 2009 and 2010 as we went into that, I really hadn't heard much. And I have a report, I can have Angela share it with all of you, but from the AC staff who had to live through it beforehand and since. The report, we got one from Lisa Pinkley, both on the flexibility of the ordinance, on the sustainability of the ordinance, and its cost effectiveness. Pretty much 100% check mark that it's working well from the point of view of our animal control city staff. That's a real success 5 years later since we passed it, and it's exciting to have that and then be able to have other cities looking to us. So lessons learned that we can, if we work really hard and do a top-notch job, it can sustain us over time, and other people will look. So I'm proud of that and wanted to share it. Last, just wanted to do a shout out to the family and friends and admirers of whom I'm certainly one of Glenda Taylor, the recently deceased chair of our Washburn Art Department. She was a mentor and an inspiration to so many people in this community. She was killed she was warming up for a bicycle race in southeast Kansas and was hit by a passing truck and was killed instantly, pretty much. But not to have that be a down note, but to celebrate all that she was and all that she brought to this community She's really a tremendous person. There will be a celebration of her life on Friday, I believe, at Washburn University. Wanted to let folks know about that. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. That completes our announcements for this evening. We will then proceed with public comment. The first person to speak is Carol Jean Gillette. Carol Jean Gillette. Not seeing her here. The next person is Ted Mize. Mr. Mize.
Honorable Mayor, council manager, and council persons. I'm a little hoarse. Okay. I will be brief, for you have in your hands a presentation given to the council in 2003 and again in 2010 on the subject I have tonight. You know the news, and the Shawnee County has activated their disaster control facility for dealing with high water that is bothering parts of Shawnee County. Last week, you were discussing creation of a command control center for Topeka. I do not know if you know that the Shawnee County Disaster Facility is as much yours as it is the county's. It is a facility that is self-dependent for power and everything else, and it's well worth a visit. The missing element is trained manpower, and I can hope that we can involve a new generation and show how much they are needed for our society. And when you think money, think volunteers. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you for your work and your volunteerism for the behalf of the city. Thank you, Ted. The next person to speak is Diana Stevens Miller.
Hello, my name is Danetta Stevens Miller, AKA Danetta Miller. I'm a lifelong resident of Topeka, born and raised here. And I was born on the east side, Pierce Addition, now Jefferson Square. And urban renewal came through in '72 and bought us out, or we could relocate or come back. And Jefferson Square is beautiful, but need another urban renewal on the east side of the town. Central Highland Park, East Topeka, we all need redevelopment. I'm appreciating the sidewalks, curbs, and gutters. I've been on the Central Highland Park NIA as an officer, working for the city, volunteering for 24 years. 17 years as secretary and 7 years as vice president. Our main concern was the sidewalks, curbs, and gutters, but they're leaving the housing out. People need their houses fixed, and I understood that the NIA was put together for neighbors helping neighbors. And when they took that enhancement program away from us, that took all our attendance away from our NIA meetings, because people weren't interested because they wasn't getting any assistance for their properties. When I go down 6th Street, where Greyhound is, it's a disgrace to the city of Topeka, especially at Capitol. They don't have any place for people traveling to rest. It's sad. We have Amtrak train thing, we have Metro, City Metro. Why can't the Greyhound go to there and use that facility? District 3 and District 4 works with us. And I don't know, is there still an urban renewal and HUD guidelines or anything?
We can get back to you on that. During this, if you just want to share your comments with us, and
Yeah.
then we can get back to you and provide this information.
Okay. What about allocations for summer jobs for the youth? Has that been allocated? And I first said, I'm just coming to ask you, is East Topeka a part of the city of Topeka? That's my question. I see different groups, west, north, south, but what about the east? We send out 2,300 mailings a month to come to our meetings. We can get no more than 25 people. So I was just saying, are we a part of the city of Topeka? Okay, thank you.
Thank you for sharing your comments, and thank you for your work on behalf of the NIA. I know that is appreciated, and we appreciate all the NIAs and what they do
And
for
I
the
said, I
community.
challenge all y'all to try to live off minimum wage.
Okay, understand.
Y'all couldn't do it.
Thank you. Thank you for your comments. That completes the public comment for this evening. Council, we do have executive session. If the city attorney would state the parameters for that.
Yes, if the governing body would like, I would recommend a motion to recess into executive session for attorney-client privileged matters relating to potential litigation for 20 minutes. Present would be the governing body, Mr. Colson, Gerber, and attorneys Lowry and Feeney.
Okay. Is there- Councilman Jensen
So moved.
moves to go into executive session on those parameters. Councilman De La Isla seconds. Any discussion? All those in favor vote yes. Opposed vote no. I vote yes.
We have 10 yes.
10 having voted yes, we will go into executive session when the room is clear.